Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jonathan, and welcome back to Money Talks, where we want to offer you financial information and meet you where you are so that you can understand your finances and make better choices on your way to financial independence. Today, guys, I'm so excited and I guess I could say I'm a little bit intrigued, mostly because finally some legislation is going to come together to help the struggling public service forgiveness program. If this is your first time joining me here on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification, hit that like button, share this video with a friend. Are you in that public service or any student loan program? Go ahead and comment below. So we're going to talk about what is kind of in the mix and works to start to move this program forward. Some big changes to come over the next few months, and that this just came out a couple days ago. So it's no surprise that since Biden's gotten in office, and one of the things that he talked about in his campaign was student loan forgiveness, just as a whole. It was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of questions asked around Biden. Are you going to use your executive order to forgive up to 50K worth of student loans? So in this situation, I know I spoke about in previous videos where he was looking at the student loan programs and looking to make some changes. Well, this one particular, if I'm Biden, why didn't I start with the troublesome program? The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. It has been a challenge. But why has it been a challenge? Nearly 99% of people who apply for forgiveness, and a lot of those people are coming up due now, they have been rejected. Why? They got lost in the fluff. So many different reasons that were coming up after these people made faithful payment after payment. What impact does it have? Well, it shores up people's ability to where they want to start to buy a home, start to create a family. Even some people who were trying to prepare for retirement, pushing big life decisions off because you got this looming student loan payment. And so right now, it's a proposed move to have a waiver that's going to basically overhaul this public service loan forgiveness program. Not as the fix, but as the beginning of several fixes. So people have talked about cookie cutter approaches with Betsy DeVos. Her fixes didn't necessarily clear all the gaps of the program. Many people try to end fixes. And the other thing that's really big about this position right now is if you notice, if you have student loans, Navient, some of the bigger players are getting out of the student loan services business to focus on other lines of business that they host. Why? Because of number one, this move, because of coming under fire for these issues with the public canceling out the debt, but then also all the different ways that they're still maximizing profits in this sector of student loans, which we know has been crippling for so many people. It's expected that there's a memorandum, a waiver that's proposed that will be put in place that should affect people who are teachers, healthcare workers, military personnel, people who work in nonprofits. Well, why this? Well, the public loans student forgiveness, you have to remember it was for individuals who go work, take a lower base pay, and as a gratitude for their service, if they work in an industry that was deemed nonprofit and met the criteria, their loans would be forgiven after 10 years. Well, you had people do their part about serving the work, but then we didn't do our part about getting those loans forgiven. So it became a struggle, and it started to really impact because people you're talking about 10 years of doing this service, making lower wages than you could have earned. So now it's a waiver that is proposed to start to look back through all the different systems and applications to make sure and validate payments and help to cancel out loans. The next thing that's going to happen in this waiver period is people who have applications to decline, those will be re-reviewed to get them to loan forgiveness. If you've been in military, if you've been deferred while you're active duty, all that type of stuff, your payments, again, will be looked back to actually have those payments count. It's a big, huge step because when we heard student loan forgiveness, a lot of people didn't honestly trust the whole process of student loan forgiveness, and with good reason. But to be honest, it was the public service loan forgiveness that was having all the rejection. The other plans, 20, 25 years, those were usually for people who had graduate student loans that didn't work in nonprofit and lower paying job sectors. Those didn't have a problem with getting it forgiven. It was 20, 25 years, so we haven't had those come. But those programs weren't having issue. It was the 10-year public loan service student forgiveness. So if you're in a program, or if you've had an employer, first of all, if you work for a nonprofit or took a lower wage, or maybe you were a teacher in a lower income, you need to have your application on file. You need to have your information re-reviewed so that this can help you. The good thing about the public loan service student forgiveness was when it came down to cancel the debt, you didn't have to pay the taxes. It's a big win for you. So when you think about how much student loans you have, when you think about the impact of the payment and the debt, it's worth, while there's opportunity coming to get that fixed and cleared up, it's worth taking a look at. The last thing I would say is October 22nd, 2022 is the premier date that people are talking about for getting applications in, waiver expiring, all that. So to make sure you're in line, to make sure that your information is reviewed. Yes, they're going to do what they can to pull information from tax records, from systems, things that were submitted, but it's up to you while the iron is hot and while this information is coming, it's up to you to find out what you need to do and follow it through to resolution. If you're eligible for public student loans service forgiveness, this is the perfect time for you to make some progress. For people that haven't had it, if you're working at the Wise, if you're working at all these different things, this is the time to look at that. But if you aren't in that, I still say income-based repayment in general is a great way to start to get a better control of your finances. I used it. I recommend all the people I've worked with use it. And I'm not saying you have to do it for the 25 years. You can pay it off early if you want to, but it's just so you have better control of that mountain of debt, because it is a mountain and you have to get to that mountain and you have to get on top of that mountain one step at a time. I hope this information is helpful for you guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, again, please subscribe to the channel, share this video, like this video. It really helps me out on the platform. I appreciate you guys watching, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.